Hi everyone, I'm Anna Anders, humbly here at forglobalpeace.com. I'm talking a little bit, today I use this logo here, the red one, that's in front of me right now on the camera here. But today I'm talking about, I'm going back in time to the summer of 2003 when I humbly made some designs for peace flags. This is design number 1 and design number 2. And by the way, our design has evolved. You know, it's just evolved. These are postcards that I was talking about on Facebook that I sent out to the corrupt White House, to the Bush regime, and then to the state of Ohio at the time, and the state of Arizona as well, because I was occupying residency in 2 spots. So, yeah, a lot of people do that. You know, you go to summer home in Florida and then come back to freezing Ohio, or not freezing Ohio, summer home in Florida, in freezing times in Ohio, and then go back in the summertime in Ohio. But anyhow, long story short, our logo has evolved from plain old red here, you can get it in many colors, to our 4-color logo design here, if you will. But this journey has not been without incident, I want to say to you today here. I think it's July 2nd, 2015. And the reason I say that is because back in the summer of 2003, we were humbly making these designs, and we went to go forward with our initiative, if you will. I need to do my nails. Did you notice that? Anyways, enough about the nails, but back to the truth. More truth and better truth, if you will. But the fact is, we were going to go public with our initiative back in 2004, and we were going public with it in the spring of 2004, exactly during the time period that my cousin's daughter, Gina DeJesus, was abducted. And honestly, once that happened, when that happens to your family tree, what it does is it blows a hole in the family tree, and you cannot even believe it. So this was not a priority for me at the time. I kind of threw it in the backseat of my life for a long time. And I have no regrets about that, because truthfully, I wasn't ready to be no activist back then. Other issues had to be worked out, and they were worked out most sincerely and most spiritually. So in the interim, though, in 2010, I said to both my parents, when I went home for my youngest daughter's wedding, I said to my parents, I'm not going to let nothing get in the way in 2011 of making these peace flags and then going to ground zero for the 10th anniversary of 9/11. And I told my parents I won't let death, birth, more abductions even get in the way. And I also told my parents I wanted to come home and bunk down to try to help and look and locate our missing family member. And I did just that. I went home, and after I took the peace flags to ground zero, these particular peace flags, if you will, that we had a company make, and I won't mention their name because honestly, I don't believe they did a good job, and they didn't handle us good as far as being one of their customers. So I'm not going to mention the names currently, but what I want to say, more importantly, is that, yeah, I went home to corrupt Cleveland from New York, sat down with my cousin Nancy and said, Nance, you've had 10 years to rely upon the local corrupt authorities, and they have not found Gina. I says, do you mind giving me a chance to try and go out here into the streets of Cleveland to locate Gina? And so my cousin Nancy said, you have my permission. And what mother wouldn't say that? I mean, my cousin, she was desperate to get her daughter home. This is one of her flyers that she made at the time. So, and matter of fact, she gave me some, and I handed off some, and I printed up more even. But at that time period, I was like, okay, God, what am I going to do, you know? So what I did was I designed an activist newsletter. And trust me, guys, I have never done this before, okay? So what God inspired me to do is I used my oldest daughter's eyes, because every time they talk about anything corrupt or terrorism, they're always showing a set of eyes behind some kind of costume, if you will. So the eyes tell a lot. So I decided to call the truth newsletter, if you will, this activist newsletter, All Eyes on It. And so that's what I did. I started off with Earth Truth, Animal Truth, Food Truth, Human Truth, Drug Trafficking, Human Trafficking, because they go hand in hand, guys. Bad banking and bad business, bad economy versus good economy. And what I did was I put together all the other activist news into this newsletter, okay, that you can see here. So, and these are all reputable websites that you can verify the truth. Because in order to understand all this over here, we had to go into the day of 9/11. which is the North Tower, South Tower, WTC 7. This is page 2 of my activist newsletter. This is page 3. In order to understand what happened on 9/11, we have to go to the Middle East. There's a map of the Middle East behind this text, if you will. So anything that's on this page here, all you need to do is Google and YouTube these terms or this text and just find out the truth behind it. Last page gets really interesting because this is nothing but YouTube videos here, okay? So you might get 3 or 4 YouTube videos on one line in our newsletter, okay? And we have a combination, actually that's not a good word, a compilation, I would say, of many activists in this newsletter. So I put all the activists that I could ever think of, prayed about this, meditated upon it, took me a little bit of time to do, and then I closed up the activist newsletter that I created here with Gina's story and how I felt that our government was covering up Gina's abduction case and punishing our family tree because of me making peace flags back in 2003. See here, these are the ones that were mailed to Bush and Cheney and all them, and to the governor of Ohio, and to the county, and to the local city level. So all these people knew about my initiative back in 2003. Ask me today how many people I've heard from to take an interest in these peace flags as far as politics is concerned. Here, let me show you. Zero politicians have contacted me regarding this initiative, if you will. And you know why they would do that? They would do that because they all know the facts about 9/11. And mum's the word, like I said, I used that earlier. Mum is the word to not speak about what really happened on 9/11. But guess what? The cat is out of the bag, and everybody knows. Everybody knows that this corrupt government, this corrupt Bush regime, Bush 1 took us into Iraq, Bush 2 took us into Iraq. These are oil men. My phone is going to die out. I'm going to shut down this video. I'm humbly Anna Anders. I just wanted you to see these postcards for real that were mailed originally, okay? So I have more to say. A lot more to say, and I'm going to keep talking for the rest of the days of my life. But our logos have primarily evolved. See this old logo one, old global one, has evolved to this here today. So thank you for tuning in and supporting our cause of peace here and exposing corruption and disruption of human life and human values from the local to global level. And yeah, they had 10 years to find Gina in corrupt Cleveland, Ohio. A year after I did my activist work in Cleveland, Ohio, flooding Cleveland, Ohio with this beautiful activist newsletter, and standing out in front of churches and not shutting my mouth. And yeah, a year to the date exactly is when that story broke out of Cleveland. And the other thing, guys, I want to say is this. I actually was on Ariel Castro Street, not on one occasion, but many occasions, doing my activist work, handing off these newsletters. So I was Johnny on the spot, and that corrupt government in Cleveland, Ohio knew it. When I was at those 3 churches, I was at 3 churches on a Sunday, the very next day on a Monday, corrupt Fox News comes out with a story that says, hey, the FBI has received a tip from a man in jail saying that Amanda Berry's body and Gina DeJesus's body is buried in an empty lot right off of Seymour Avenue. I think it was 32nd. But anyways, which was 1 block down from Ariel Castro's house, okay? Well, he had the girls in the house still to that day. So I knew better. I knew we were having an impact in corrupt Cleveland, Ohio. My friend Vladdy and I at the time went over and we held our signs that said, "Where is Gina?" He had no clue. I had the clue, and the clue was I knew we were onto something. He was too busy believing corrupt Fox News. Well, that's not my problem today, friends and family. Friends and family, a shout out to you. If you believe in the corrupt agendas, you believe in the corrupt media outlets, that's your problem. It's not mine. So, I'm humbly Anna Anders here at forglobalpeace.com today. I'm not buying the manipulated, indoctrinated media corruption. You guys can buy it, chew on it, do whatever you want to do, but I'm not doing that no more. I would rather research and use alternative media and rely upon scientific facts, like steel doesn't melt at 1,500 degrees. Steel, which is jet fuel, 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Steel melts at 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit and above. Okay, my father was a steel worker. I knew many steel workers. I had my grandfather, my uncles. So nobody's going to sell that lie to me. Not here today, humbly, at forglobalpeace.com. I'm signing off this video. Have a wonderful 4th of, yes, they did lie to us. Politicians, they lie to us 24/7, 365. So we should be telling the truth, which is 4th of you lie 24/7, 365. Bye-bye. Peace out. And you're going to get caught for all your lies, too. Even for the lies of 9/11/01 and how you used corrupt media to manipulate us into the Middle East, all because of oil, all because of gold, all because of natural resources. Quit blaming Iran, Syria, and all these other countries when in fact we have been doing Israel's dirty work. Thank you and have a wonderful 4th of July. No lies, please. Thank you.